Mic check, 1, 2. Hey, good evening, everybody. How's it going? Biff back with you again for a little Tuesday evening stream, even though it might say up here that it's Tuesday morning. I looked out the window and it's not Tuesday morning anymore. It's Tuesday evening. Let's see. I didn't open Vassal yet. We already looked at the queue this morning. I'm going to close this. We already looked at the queue this morning. So I do need to start Vassal though. So let's start up Vassal. So how's everybody doing? No, I didn't want to start that up. So I'll just go ahead and close you. Click on this, click on that, and it just doesn't want to work. Open something else up. I guess that program really wanted to be open, didn't it? It's like, I really want you to open me up. So I'm just going to open even though you don't even click on me. All right. We are looking at game 5. Now, I think what I want to do though is I think I do want to turn 5, I mean. I do want to look at the VOD from earlier today to make sure that I want to look at the VOD from earlier today, make sure that I'm still streaming, right? Because yeah, it doesn't look like this isn't broadcasting on Twitch. But what I want to do is I want to look at the VOD today to see if I actually let's go over here. I was on turn 5. Just want to make sure I'm on turn 5. I started off on turn 4. I'm going to turn up some volume here a little bit. See if I can hear myself talking over here. Yeah, I think I did. I think I'm good. I think it just took me a long time to play that turn. It took like 2 hours to play the turn, which I didn't really anticipate it being that long to play the turn. Um, get out of that screen. Okay. Let's go back to Stream Manager. Who do I have over here? I've got this. Let me minimize this. Let's try this. Okay, this puts me into, no, I don't want to start log file. This puts me into Adobe, which is good. Then I want to hop over here to Vassal, and it keeps me in Adobe. That's good. That's what I want. Um, and then here's my game. Okay. So let's zoom in on this. Let's zoom in on this. One more time. maybe 2 more times, all the way in. Zoom in all the way. I'm going to pull back a little bit, just so you can see what's going on. Okay, that should be desktop capture. And then when I want to go back, we are on starting turn 5. Right now the situation is this. We have moved up, started clearing now row 3. We've got a pinned squad in here. This is 1st platoon, 3rd squad. They are pinned in here by this mortar spotter and the mortar cover that we've already resolved on this. This has been resolved. That'll be going away. So I think I can move forward in here. I want to flank this position. So I think I'm going to start moving troops this way. I'm going to start moving guys this way up through here. We're going to try to spot him. Because this mortar spotter only has line of sight to this card right here. So he's only going to be able to attack this card. But I have to be able to spot him. I do have my my 2nd platoon CO down here, or 1st platoon CO down here, and I also have my XO down here, so they can both give orders to order these guys to spot. Because this guy's unspotted, so we need to spot him so he can attack. Now, what do I have down here as far as assets? I've got the mortar, which is a grenade, which is -4. That's good. And I've also got the mortar forward observer. Okay. So we're probably going to try to get the mortar forward observer. I think the mortar forward observer is also -4. If we go to the manual here, this is basically the mission booklet. It gives you information about the mission. So our mortar forward observer is he modifies it by 3. A grenade would modify it by -4. So we would probably what we would do is, whatever the biggest threat is, because we're going to be moving up in here too to try to spot this, whatever the biggest threat is, I might move my XO over here to get this squad moving up into here. Whatever the biggest threat is where we'd probably have our forward observer attack. Okay, these are just loose covers down here. These are covers that we found previous. I've got to move my CO up here onto this hill. So, turn 1 command display. Let's get the sequence out here. So I've got some pistachios, cashews, and a few pretzels down here. I'm being noshing on. Got a ginger ale, Canada Dry, and I got water. So I'm good to go. Everybody hear me okay? I might pull this in a little bit further. Might be a little bit too far. Let's move it back just a little bit. Okay. The plan. Like I said, the plan is to flank right here. Our current status is we have 3 VOFs out there. I might actually, this guy's pinned, so he can't move. But what I can try to do is try to infiltrate this card, and then I can try to send a squad into here to try to spot this guy and eliminate him. Attempt to infiltrate. Attempt to have a platoon infiltrate an adjacent card. 2 orders. Draw 2 cards. Platoon HQ has to be the one that originates it. Excuse me. Have each unit of the platoon perform an attempt to infiltrate on adjacent card action. All units move to the same card. Units on the card who are out of communication with the originator remain in place. Well, everybody has everybody on the same card, whether they're in cover or not. Every unpinned HQ or staff member has communication with every other unit on the card. So that is one of the special rules of the scenario. Oh man, I'm over here. Sorry, guys. That's one of the special rules of the scenario. So if we tried to infiltrate up to this card, it's got a VOF marker on it, so we can do that. We try to infiltrate a platoon. We can do that because the where is he? Yeah, first platoon HQ has communication, even though he's undercover. He has communication with every other unit under the on that card. Where is the special rules about that communication? Here. All unpinned HQs and staff are considered to be in communication with each other regardless of location. But really, I don't even need to move up the CO. Although he can give orders, that'd be good. In addition, all unpinned HQ and staff are considered to be in communication with any friendly unit on the same card. So what I'm thinking about doing is flanking, moving up here with first platoon, and flanking this area here. I'm on turn 5. I believe it's of 10. Yeah, Germany grenade attacks use a -4 VOF. Now we could, if we can get up to this farm, we can also look for additional cover on this farm. Right now, the only additional cover that we found is the church, but we did find a church tower observation point right over here. So that is a level 2. This is level 2. So we can see down into this card here over this hedgerow. We can see down into the orchard grove here. This is the only card I can't see into yet. But I think I'm going to be moving up here. Right now we're engaged, so I don't know if I want to these level A potential contact markers. I don't know if I want to be drawing 5 on every single one of them. Draw 15 cards on these and potentially get all 3 of them activated. So we're going to activate first platoon. I think I'm going to send the CO over here, depending on how many orders the company HQ gets, to have him get moving up into here. This is second platoon. We can move a, try to infiltrate a squad up into here. And then these fields, I think, we're just going to leave open. So we might do the same thing. Leave the artillery officer here with maybe the first sergeant. And so he can give him orders. Or we could just use general initiative orders to get him to call into fire if we need fire here, 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 here. Can do that. So first platoon, second platoon, actually second platoon's got maybe leave one squad in here to keep this fire on this card over here, keep that VOF on there. And then, so it won't be a platoon move for them, but then move the machine gun up here. Maybe have them come this way, have first platoon maybe join over here. Have, since we're going to be flanking, have second platoon come here, third platoon come up this way. Leave one squad on here to keep fire down on this target here. And then leave the artillery forward observer in the church tower here. We do have a machine gun in this card that can, again, put fire down here. It can put fire here. So I'm probably not going to move the machine gun. I'll leave the first sergeant here with the machine gun, move the platoon up this way. Yeah, so the first sergeant can command the artillery. And so right now, the first sergeant, he doesn't have any orders saved. The XO has 2 orders saved. Second platoon has 1 order saved. So I think that's the plan. Maybe try to rally this pin guy, this pin squad, and send him up here to try to spot that forward observer. I think he would get targets undercover and as a forward observer, so -2 on a 2 action cards. You get to draw at least 1. He is in we get no modifications for the cover. He's got +1 cover. He would get +1 for being on the same card as the our guy would be exposed though. He would get one card, so he's always going to draw 1. So that might be an option, or just getting a grenade or a mortar on him. Got anti-tank gun, we got mortars. We can shoot mortar over there for -3. I think grenade's -4. Of course, we'd have to draw for that, so first, second, third platoon activated. Second company sergeant is going to stay here with the machine gun and the, at least for now, with the machine gun and the artillery officer, forward observer. So let's draw for orders. No, we got to draw for the. This is something I have to do. Well, I have to really pay attention to this. I got to have this open pretty much all the time so I can see what's going on. So first we're going to draw for friendly hire HQ. We're looking for a radio symbol, like a walkie-talkie symbol down here. So we're going to draw a card. And there is a friendly hire HQ event. So now we're going to determine the event on the friendly hire HQ events table. So we're flipping over here to the table right here. So turns 2 to 4. No, we're on turn 5. So turn 5, we draw a random number. It's going to be a random number out of 10. It's the way we do that is we flip back here. And we're going to draw a random card, and we're going to look under the 10 and see what that number is. It is a 10. I hope it's good. These things can tend to, it says friendly hire HQ events. They're not always friendly. It is turn 5-7. No artillery reveal of his turn. Your units cannot make a call for fire action. Heavy, high explosive or white phosphorus from the 15th Field Artillery Battalion. Okay. But we can from the mortar platoon. So you just got to keep that in mind. Earn 1 achievement point for each of these events that have completed that turn. There's no penalties for not being able to complete these events due to lack of commands. Did I have an event yet? I did not. Machine guns are not marked out of ammo. If your machine guns are not marked out of ammo. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get that one. We got 10. So no artillery available this turn. So we are there. All right. So that is it. We have no artillery available. We have no artillery. We still have mortar fire available though. This is not a defensive mission, it's an offensive, so the enemy activity phase will be done over here. Friendly command phase. The battalion HQ is going to activate the company HQ down here. So we come over here, there's the company HQ, flip them over and show commands available. And then what we do is we draw a card. But first we have to determine where is the company CO. The company CO is right here. He's not undercover, so he doesn't get the benefit of being a +1 command for being undercover. And so we just draw a card, and whatever number shows up in the helmet up here will be the number of commands that he gets. And that's 5, and that's very good for us. Since the rules say for this special training scenario, basically, that he is in command with every other commander on the map. Doesn't matter if they're in line of sight yet or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate, like we said, first platoon. He's going to activate second platoon. He's going to activate third platoon. He's going to activate the first sergeant. He's going to activate the executive officer. And then we mark him as activation completed. That's all he does. That's not all he can do. He can issue orders and stuff to individual units. He can basically do, but he's the only one who can activate platoons to draw orders, to find out, to start giving commands to their troops and stuff. He is also the only one who can activate the first sergeant and the executive officer. So the first sergeant and the executive officer can give commands to the platoons, but they can't activate the platoon. And they can give commands to the squads in the platoons, but they can't activate the platoon itself. So now that the platoons are activated, they are going to draw for commands. The second platoon has one command available right now because they had a saved command from last turn. The executive officer had a saved command he had 2 saved commands from last turn. So now what the CO has done, the company officer has done, the company headquarters, they've used all 5 of their orders to activate all of their subordinate units, basically. Subordinate commands. So I don't know if you guys could probably see this, right? If we just kind of slide this up in here a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. I'll pull it out. There's another mod out there, I think. There's another mod that it doesn't have you drag the card over to reveal it. It has a button up here that just says draw a card. And it is only half the size of this. So it's really nice. It doesn't show this deck here. It just shows the card deck as you flip the cards over, and so it's only half this size. It just has a button up here that says draw a card, which is kind of nice. I might try to edit this and do something like that for this. Might try to edit this module. Okay, so now the company HQ has done all of that, and now it's down to we're still in the activation segment, but now it's the platoon HQ and company staff impulse. So now they draw for commands. So we are going to look at the charts for command, and we're going to look at for drawing modifications. So if the headquarters or staff is under a cover marker, they get an additional command. If they are under a VOF, which none of them are, they lose commands. And if the current activity level is no contact, they gain a command. So we have a couple of our HQs that are under cover, and so they are going to get an additional command on whatever they draw. So I want to zoom in here on these guys. We need to spot him. We talked about doing infiltration, right? Have the first platoon try to do an infiltration move in here. So that would be the movement action. Attempt to have a platoon infiltrate an adjacent card. So to do an infiltration attempt, either the card that you're in or the card that you're moving to has to have a volume of fire marker on it. That's what this is called right here. Volume of fire marker. In order to attempt to infiltrate the card. So now what this says is attempt to have a platoon infiltrate a card. It costs 2 orders to do that. We haven't drawn for orders yet from first platoon. We're just kind of weighing this out. You draw 2 cards, and that's based on the experience level, I believe, of the HQ that's giving the order. All good order units in that platoon on the same card that are not marked as exposed and do not have a tripod symbol have each unit in the platoon perform an attempt to infiltrate on adjacent card action. All units moved to the same card. Units on the card who are out of communication with the originator remain in place. So I think we're going to do that. Now, I don't have to announce what I'm going to do before I find out how many commands the first platoon gets. I can actually just draw a card and see how many commands I get and if this is going to be feasible for me to do. So we're going to do that right now, and we get 5. We get 5 commands, and the first platoon HQ is undercover, so they get an additional command. Now, I can command these guys. I can command the whole platoon. You'll notice down here, these guys are all, they all have blue outlines on them. That means they're all part of the first platoon. The EXO is not part of the first platoon. They're part of the command structure, the upper command structure. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. We're going to attempt to move all these guys up here. Grab all these guys. These are the, we're going to do a platoon move. So we're going to spend 2 orders to do that. Now, the first platoon got 6 orders. They have to complete their complete activation before I activate another command. So I have first platoon activated. He's using some of his orders now. I can't then draw for orders for the second platoon while the first platoon is activated and then start moving the second platoon and then go back to the first platoon, then back to, you can't do that. You have to use the platoons or the EXOs or the first sergeants. You have to use all of their activation before you can go to the next command. And that's kind of shown here. It's delineated in the rules, but it's kind of shown here. Select a platoon HQ or company staff that was activated by the company headquarters. Draw an action card and give it the modified number of activated commands. Then the next thing is you save those commands or expend them in any saved commands on orders to itself or other units up to the maximum per turn according to visibility and experience level. Repeat for the next platoon, HQ, and company staff. So you complete this action, this impulse, and then you start, the next impulse would be like, you can activate them in any order. You can draw commands for them in any order, but you complete their activation and then you draw commands for the next one that you want. I could go from the first platoon and then draw commands for the third platoon after the first platoon has completed their activation, but they have to complete their activation. Then you draw commands for the next one that you want to activate. They spend their commands or save them or whatever, and then so forth. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. but that is a key component of the game. And I think I've seen some people playing it wrong on YouTube, where they kind of bounce back and forth. Now, there is a document. There is a document over here that was written, I think, back in 2015. Now, this game came out in like 2008 or 2009, so it's about 16 years old. And the edition of the rules that we're on right now is the 3rd edition series rules. So there've been some changes. So in here, it actually says that you don't have to complete an activation, but in the rules, it says you do. So in the 3rd edition rules, it says you do have to do that. So all right, so we're going to do that. We're going to get these guys. We're going to take them. We're going to take them out of cover. We're going to move all of them up here. We've already spent the orders to do that. I'm just going to move them over here. We're going to pull this cover marker down here because we're not using it right now. So as part of that, as part of those 2 orders, they all get to check they all have to get to check randomly to see if they successfully infiltrate this card. And again, the way that's done on the chart, it says, have each unit in the platoon perform an attempt to infiltrate on adjacent card action, which is right up here. Attempt to infiltrate an adjacent card, which is a 2-card draw. All units move to the same card. Units on the card who are out of communication with the originator remain in place. So the first one we're going to check is the platoon HQ. See if he infiltrates. If they don't infiltrate, then they get marked exposed. The way we do that is we draw 2 cards, and we're looking for the word cover up here. 1, 2. The platoon HQ finds cover. Now this is going to be a different cover. Oh no, he doesn't find cover. He infiltrates, which means that he comes up here and he's not marked with an exposed mark. Oh no, wait. I just completely missed that. The first card I drew was this symbol right here. I just drew that card. So that symbol right here is actually the infiltrate symbol. We're not looking for cover. We're looking to infiltrate. So he did successfully infiltrate. So he's not marked with an exposed marker. We're going to do the mortar forward observer next. We're looking for infiltrate. He got it, but we still have to draw the second card, the 2 cards. Now we're looking for the first machine gun. Does he infiltrate? He does infiltrate successfully. Wow. 3 in a row. We're going to do second platoon, second squad. Does he infiltrate? He does not. Anti-tank gun. Oh, I guess I have to reshuffle. The bazooka team, do they infiltrate? They do not. The mortar team, do they infiltrate? They do not. So these guys are all marked exposed, which could be significant. So that is that. So now what the first platoon is going to do is we have cover here. So what we want to do is the first platoon HQ is going to order this poor guy out of his cover. Do I want to do that? I don't think I do. What I want to do is I want to order. I want to order first machine gun to spot. Now, it's too bad. I wonder if I could rally him, get him to rally, and then infiltrate this card. He could try to infiltrate this card because he's under a VOF. You have to be either the card you're on has to be under a VOF or the card you're moving to has to be under a VOF to try to infiltrate. So I could try to rally him, and then have him attempt to move, well, attempt to infiltrate. So let's find out about rallying. So we haven't done anything yet. First platoon's only given those 2 orders to do a platoon infiltration into those woods. Oh, you know what? The mortar team can't fire from here because they can't fire out of woods. We're still here. What was I looking on this for? I don't know. We're going to look at charts. Oh, down here, I grabbed the wrong one. We're going to look at rally. Don't know where that one is. There we go, rally actions. Attempt to remove a pinned marker. This is going to be cost 1 order, draw 2 cards, automatic if no VOF. We're under a VOF, so it's not automatic. Any unit under a pinned marker. If the recipient's card has any VOF marker on it, draw action cards and check for the word rally. If rally is drawn, then the attempt succeeds. Remove the pinned marker. If the attempt fails, do nothing. If there is no VOF marker on the card, then the action is automatically successful. So I'd have to do an order. I'd have to give an order to order him to rally. That would be 1 command. So if I do move him on there, I still have to spot him. But I would get the bonus of the additional being on the same card. He's undercover. He's a forward observer. That's -2. We get 2 action card draws to spot. He's not undercover, or I would get a +1 for the same card as the spotter. So it really isn't a benefit to me to do that. I mean, other than the fact that I would have, I think I'm just going to attempt to spot him. It's the same thing. I get 1 card draw. Now, if I could rally him, I could move him up here and activate that potential contact, I think. It's too bad that my other squad didn't make it. Got exposed. So what happens is if you move, unless you're, I think it's, even if you move on the same card, you get exposed. So, Yeah, I'm going to order my machine gun to attempt to spot this guy. So that is going to be one card draw. Because he's undercover and he's a forward observer. He's not in +3 or more cover value, and he's not in 0 cover value. Okay, let's try it. Let's do a gonna order the machine gun team to do that. Let's look at the spotting thing again. I'm pretty sure I can order the machine gun team to do that. There's a contract draw, enemy activity, miscellaneous spot. I think that's probably a combat action, right? Command and control. Spot. Combat action, attempt to spot. Okay. 1 order, 2 draw. Any good order unit with line of sight to an unspotted enemy. Okay, draw action cards, modify the spotting modifiers. Okay. So we're going to spend a command we did here. We're going to draw 1 card. And we're looking for a like a reticle, a target reticle here. Didn't get it. All right, so we're going to exhort the machine gun team to try again. Didn't get it. So now I can order somebody else to try to do it, like this pinned unit here, the 3-1. The pinned unit is actually in pretty good shape because he's actually a +1. Is pinned a good order unit? I don't think they are. Okay, the machine gun team can't look again. The mortar forward observer, he's got binoculars, might help him, but he can't fire. He can call in mortar fire if we can get this guy spotted. So let's have him try to spot. We're looking for a target reticle down here. Didn't get it. Let's have him try it again. That's going to complete my activation. Okay, let's try it again. Didn't get it. So we tried with him, we exhorted him. We tried with him, we exhorted him. Can't do it. I have no more orders for the platoon HQ. So it's going to be up to the XO, I guess. The XO is going to have to come up here. The XO is going to have to get activated, try to infiltrate up here, and give orders to maybe the third squad. Okay, let's draw orders for the XO. He gets 4. He's undercover. He gets 5. He has 2, so that's going to give him 7. Okay, first thing he's going to do is he's going to move. He's going to try to infiltrate. He's going to try to infiltrate up here. So we're going to draw 2 cards and look for the infiltrate symbol over here. He gets it. So he infiltrates, which means he doesn't get marked exposed. Now that he's up here, he's like, come on, guys. You guys are getting mortared over here. Let's find that mortar. Let's find that mortar spotter and get him dealt with. Okay. So he's going to command the 3rd Squad, 1st Platoon, which I think they can pin. No, are they pinned? It's got to be good order, right? It's got to be good order. Any good order unit with line of sight to an unspotted enemy. Also available to pin units and some LATs with restrictions. 4.2.5. We're going to look in the rules under 4.2.5. Limited action teams. Pinned and LAT limitations, limited action team limitations. Units that are not pinned and not limited action team units are considered to be in good order. You may only perform or attempt to perform a limited set of actions with pinned and limited action team units. These are also summarized on the limited action team limitations chart, charts and tables player aid. There are no restrictions on command and control actions except where the action menu states a good order unit is required as recipient. Although, as they cannot use visual verbal communication, an alternative means of communication is required for pinned units to give and receive orders. That's 4.3. Let's see. Combat actions allowed. Is this what it's telling me here? So maybe what the XO should do is try to get these guys unpinned. Trying to understand this. An alternative means of communication required for pinned units to receive and receive orders. That's under 4.3, where we are right here. Oh, I see. Looks like the only order that pinned units can get is in order to rally. They can only be given a visual verbal attempt to remove pinned marker order. Their pinned status is ignored in this case. Okay. So the XO is yelling at this guy, "Get up, soldier!" I could have used that rally card right there for his infiltration, but I didn't. Come on, soldier, get up. He's going to use one of his commands to order the soldier to rally. And he draws attempt combat actions, no. Command and control actions, no. Rally actions. Attempt to remove a pin marker. Draws 2 cards. Okay, we're going to look for rally. That's one order. He rallied. Nice. Okay. We're going to unpin him. That was the first order that the XO. See, sometimes it just takes a louder voice. His platoon commander, well, this is the first attempt that we did, so his platoon commander didn't even do this. But now, I think what they're going to do is they're still going to try to spot this. They're going to try to spot him. Now, I don't know what the benefit would be of him trying to infiltrate up here. He's unspotted. He's undercover. The only thing I can think of is that it might help in the enemy activation, the enemy activity. The spotter might try to leave. See, the spotter does not have an inherent um, combat rating. You see here, this third squad, first platoon, has an inherent combat rating of small arms fire. The spotter does not. So if I try to move on there, the spotter might just bug out. But on the other hand, I could try to infiltrate up here. I could try to infiltrate up here now that I'm not pinned, and activate this contact B here, and do the and I don't even know if I want to do that. I think I might want to activate this over here. Okay, we're going to try to get rid of this guy by getting on his marker, which would also, incidentally, it would also it would make us heavily engaged. At least one of the cards has both enemy and friendly units on it, which means that when we draw for these potential contacts on the A line here, we'd only be drawing 3 cards. Right now we're drawing 5. So that would help us, that would help minimize, it's kind of a gamey thing, I think, but it would help us minimize, oh, you know what? I can't move on that card. You know why? Because this is the left boundary of our advance. We cannot go beyond this right here. So I cannot go on that card. So what am I going to do instead? I'm going to try to spot. That's all we can do. The XO got him unpinned. The XO is going to tell him to spot. Draw 1 card. And he got it. Right there. He spotted him. That's what we're looking for, that reticle right there, that target reticle. So he is unspotted, or he is spotted. So now this is what happens. Oh, he's undercover too. I don't know if I deleted both of them just now when I deleted the unspotted. He's undercover. So now what happens is this. We open fire on him. So this is what happens. We open fire on him. We grab a PDF marker, which is under volume of fire. This one here. We're also going to probably grab a VOF marker. We're going to rotate this counterclockwise this way. So now as soon as you spot an enemy unit, if you're in range, you open fire on them. You don't have to draw any cards. The platoon commander, the XO, doesn't have to give any orders. You just open fire on them. So now our anti-tank gun and our mortar can't shoot. So I don't think your mortar is going to expend... I don't think your mortar is going to expend ammunition if they're in the woods, because they can't shoot in the woods anyway. But I think we can shoot our bazooka in the woods, so we're going to look that up real quick. Now, XO still has 5 commands. No, he had 7, right? So 7, he moved up here. That's 6. I gotta keep track of this better. Moved up here, that's 6. He told this squad to be unpinned. They got unpinned. He told them to spot. They spotted. So that's 3 commands. What we want to do now is we want to order the, for right now at least, we're going to put a VOF on this marker of small arms fire. Because the squad here is exerting small arms fire. That's what that S is there. So it doesn't modify. Where did that? Oh, cover marker. Stay down there. It doesn't modify the it doesn't modify the fire attack. It's just a 0, but it is a VOF marker. So that counts for something. So now the XO is going to tell the mortar forward observer. Now first, because mortar is only -3, let's come over here. We're looking over here at keep up the fire. The mortar section, high explosive, is only a -3. If we can shoot a grenade down on him, and what I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to go out to Google and see if Google can help me. We're going to look fields of fire. Can grenades fire from woods? Can a bazooka fire from woods? Oh, cool. I gotta open link in a new tab. Well, that's cool. There on Armchair Dragoons, there is a Fields of Fire Deluxe AAR, which is an after action report. Well, that's pretty cool. I got to read through that one. That'd be good. So I want to bookmark this one on the bookmarks bar. Let's look under Adobe. It's going to be a grenade. You can see here. You can see over here the this is marked S, and then a superscript it's G exclamation point. And then that is going to be grenade. Let's just look up grenade. I should know where this is because I've looked for it quite a number of times. There's only 213 references. We should be able to find it pretty quick. During the enemy activity check, fallback grenade attack. Units in caves may not fire at point blank range. Activity checks such a grenade attacks HQ may call for the enemy units to do the cave. Remember your failure at the cave. Smoke and white phosphorus smoke. I think it's up at around 8 something. Grenade attack is a G exclamation point. and its rules are in 7.10. Grenade. Single unit out of cover, the area affected, or stacking units under cover. We'd be firing at the unit under cover. Range grenade attack must follow a card's PDF if one exists. It does. Multiple VOF may be placed on a card, including on a single unit cover marker. They are cumulative. Do not apply visibility modifiers. I think that means multiple VOF grenade or grenades are cumulative. So this is a rocket launcher, S with the G superscript right there. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm into my pretzels now. You might be able to hear me crunching them. My pretzel sticks. My daughter loves these. I think rocket launcher cars have grenade G exclamation point VOF rating. Heavy mounted versions have a heavy weapons HOF. Now see, we're not under heavy. This is a anti-tank gun. Hand grenades, rifle grenades. We do have rifle grenades. Let's see. We do have, if we look in the command thing here, this is for a platoon. The second platoon does have a rifle grenade, but they are exposed. That doesn't matter. They can still fire. They could fire the rifle grenade, which is the same thing. It's a G. I don't know if it's automatic, though. I don't think it is. Let's go back. Rifle grenades have a G VOF rating. Some units receive one or two allotments of rifle grenades being in mission. When fired, they are expended. Units equipped with rifle grenades place their normal VOF based on their normal VOF based on their VOF rating, but can also be ordered to attempt to make a grenade attack to attack with their rifle grenade. These weapons were high angle of. So as with mortars, you cannot fire them from a building, bunker, cave, or pillbox. Grenade attacks. Grenade attack refers to any attack from a G-rated weapon. Carried on according to the following rules. Directing a grenade attack at one specific unit out of cover or a stack of units under a cover marker. Any infantry unit with a printed VOF rating may attempt. Now it's not saying anything about being in woods. That's kind of what the question we have is. Draw 2 cards modified for the firing units experience level. We're line level, so there's not going to be any modification to that. Mission instructions will tell you which rating to use for each side. It's -4 in this case, is what the mission instructions tell us. Let me see, tell us right up. Um, U.S. and German grenade attacks both use a -4. Okay, so I think it doesn't say we can't shoot from woods. So I'm going to tell the CEO is going to tell the mortar guy here, or not the mortar guy, the anti-tank guy. He's going to say, "Hey, listen, buddy, get a grenade into that area there, will you? I'm going to land it right there." So he infiltrated in. He rallied the third squad. He told the third squad to uncover. I had 7 though, didn't I? Infiltrated in, rallied the squad, told them to spot. I don't know if I moved this because I was going to try to fire out. I'm not going to worry about it. If I did it, it's my mistake. So shoot, soldier, this guy. I get to draw 2 cards, and we're looking for the I think we're looking for the blast. Oh. I was just looking over here. I don't remember my orders. Hopefully, I'm going to get to the point where, with the rules of the game, where I don't have to spend so much time looking up rules. I can spend more time actually in the game, kind of fluidly moving through each area of the game. And it won't take me like 2 hours to do one turn because I got questions about, how things are supposed to be done. So the XO is gonna tell him to try to land a grenade over here with the bazooka. And the way we're gonna do that is it's gonna be a -4. Draw 2 cards, and we're gonna look for a grenade icon on one of the cards. If 2 or more cards with grenade icons are drawn, a critical hit occurs with the following results. So let's draw 2 cards and see what happens. We're looking for a grenade icon right up in here. 1 card, we got it. 2 cards, we only got a regular grenade icon from him. So that was that order. Okay, and I think I moved this, and then I'm like, no soldier, we got to check the rules. Let me get my rule book. The XO's out there. Oh, XO's out there. Oh, XO's out there in the field. Let me get my rule book out, soldier, and see what we can do. Let's see. We're gonna look up mortar fire here. Yeah, that's movement. That chapter there is terrain. This chapter here is all about terrain. Yeah, soldier, we're just gonna shoot it. So I've already expended the command. So just fire at it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is my advanced squad leader rulebook. Talk about 96 pages. There's about 200 pages in this thing, maybe 250. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. ASL system. Oh. So we got the hit. So we're going to drop a -4 VOF marker on here. It's going to be this one right over here, -4 grenade. It's going to be the -4. And we're dropping it right there. Okay. So he is going to be at a +1, +2. He's going to be at a -2. So hopefully that'll ruin his day. Now, I could attempt to shoot another grenade. Second platoon, or second squad has a rifle grenade. I don't know if I want to use that, though. I don't know if I want to use that. I really need to take him out, though. It would be tempting to use that. I haven't used it yet. This is a single shot, I think. Yeah, it's a 1-shot weapon. I could order, I don't know if they stack though. If mortar fire and grenade fire, if they stack. I think only grenades stack. Okay, are they in cover? I think they're still in cover. I think the XO though might use his orders now to I think he might use the rest of his orders to get some guys in cover. Okay, he's gonna have the squad come out of cover. He's gonna have himself get under cover. He could have moved into cover actually when he moved infiltrated up here, so we're going to count that as good. I get to fudge it because it's my game. Now he's going to order the first platoon undercover, and then he's going to he's going to unactivate by ordering the mortar fort observer into cover. So that's going to be him done. All right. Next is second platoon. I'm going to close that. Next is second platoon. So we are still in the platoon HQ company staff impulse of the activation segment. Let's see, these guys are gonna this is going away. So I think we're gonna order second platoon. It's going to order there is cover here. Now that cover is there. Now does that cover leave when the enemy, there was a enemy mortar spotter? Does that cover leave? And then when we move in there, we have to try to find new cover? I think that probably makes sense, right? Maybe not though, because you figure the mortar spotter got spotted, so we did spot the cover that he was in. So it would make sense that hey, we can we know where that cover is. We could just move into that cover. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, let's do him next. Second platoon. We're going to draw cards for second platoon activation. And he gets 4. He's undercover. So that gives him 5. And he's got 1, so that gives him 6. So what he's going to do is he's going to order, it's under a VOF marker. So he's going to order second platoon. He's going to order second platoon to try to infiltrate up here. And that's actually our attack position right there that we need to take. And that's going to be 1 order. It's not a platoon infiltration. It's just a single card infiltration. So he needs to get this symbol right here. And he does not. So he's exposed. Probably not good. But he did move into cover. I'm going to call that good because, like I said, if we spotted cover, we spotted the mortar spotter that was in this hex that was part of the German package that was called the enemy package that was called in here. Then we saw the cover that he was in. So we know where the cover is. We saw him. He's under cover over there. Mark that on your map. Mark that cover on your map. Okay, they made a mental note of it, so they know where the cover is. So once they drove him out of there, they can go back into that cover. But he is exposed. What does he want to do? That was one order. He had 6, so that was 1. What does he want to do? You know what? We're under engaged right now. I'll close these out so I have room to move around. We're engaged. I can't, there's no enemies on cards that I can infiltrate into. This card, this area, this orchards is out of our left boundary. We can't go that way. This marsh is out of our right boundary. We're limited to just, this is our area of operations because there's another company that's working in this area over here. So there's another company that's working in this area over here. There's another company that's working in this area over here. They're advancing here. We're advancing here. The other company over here is advancing here. So we can't get into their area of advance because friendly fire. That's the main reason why you don't want to get caught under friendly fire. Time is it? It is 10:20. Do I want to order this guy to try to infiltrate up here? I don't. Because like I said, I want to keep the small arms fire going on this card over here. I want to keep that. I got to lay that down and keep it there. I could always move this squad up here in the general initiative. Move him down here. I don't know really if there's anything else I can do. You know what I could do? I can tell this squad here to concentrate fire. Over here. They're both pinned. If I can concentrate fire, then this unit will not get the benefit of the cover. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I have 3rd platoon activated because I've got to tell them to cease fire on this hex, on this card. Otherwise, they're going to be laying fire down over here during the combat phase, and that unit's going to take some damage. So we're going to have 2nd platoon. We're going to have him tell his 3rd squad to attempt to concentrate fire over here on this unit in cover. Let's go to command, combat actions. Attempt to concentrate fire. It is a 1. one command. It costs two. It's 2 card draws. So he's already given that order. Any good order, small arms, rated, projecting volume fire into a card with spotted enemy unit, selecting either a stack of units under cover or one random unit out of cover as the target. Draw action cards, check for the crosshairs icon. We're going to draw 2 cards and check for the crosshairs icon to try to concentrate fire on this guy right here. Because he's got a, he has got an automatic weapon. Oh, no, he's paralyzed. I didn't know he was paralyzed. In that case, I'm not going to use that guy. I'll do this guy. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're looking for the crosshairs marker again. We're looking for the crosshairs icon, the target reticle icon, basically. This is what we're looking for right here. And we didn't get it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my commands. I got 4 commands. I'm going to save them. Because I really don't think there's anything else I can do that would be of major impact. We're going to flip that over. Now we're going to do 3rd platoon. We're going to draw cards for 3rd platoon. He gets 5. He is under cover. He's in this church. So he is under cover for, he's got a building cover right there. That would be the 3rd platoon HQ. I should have, what was the plan? I was going to move these guys over here, right? But I don't want to do that potential marker yet. He's got 5 plus 1 is 6. Don't want to move in those open fields. I want to flank. Okay, first order he's going to give is to cease fire. I think that is a ceasefire. It's automatic. Any HQ or staff, any unit in communication exerting a VOF, regardless of the chain of command, remove the VOF PDF generated by all occupants of the card. So basically, they are exerting a VOF, even though it's not on the board here, because this was incoming high explosives from last turn. But they are exerting a VOF into that card. So we are going to... Got a machine gun. Couldn't I just... Can I do that for... Can I shift fire? If I shift fire, does it have to be into an occupied... Move the VOF PDF in any desired direction, engaging any other eligible card in the originator's line of sight, including an unoccupied card, but not one with unspotted opposing units. Once the order is given, it is passed on and carried out by all units on the card, whether they are in communication or not. So I can move it, including any unoccupied card, so I could actually shift fire from here to here. I think I'm going to do that. Because I might actually discover something on this card that I want to target. So that's going to be the first... That's going to be the first command that 3rd platoon gives. He's going to shift fire over here. since we probably aren't going to, we're probably not going to be going into this card until we've cleared all this other stuff out. Um, so that's his command right there. Attempt to spot. Oh, we can't use artillery this turn. So we do have a BOF marker of automatic weapons on this card now. And potentially on this card because our machine gun is long range, which is actually 2 cards away. So potentially on this card also. Oh, so I moved into here. So this card's revealed. Farm. It's a farm. Now, do I want to issue any more commands for a 3rd platoon? I was going to move a squad here and then move a squad from 2nd platoon up here, but I didn't do that. So I think I'm going to inactivate him, save 5 commands. I could try to infiltrate one of my squads up there with him, try to move him into the cover there. If I did this, be one command. I need to try to infiltrate. I think I'd just rather wait and see what the result is of that potential contact. Let's flip that over. And then we're going to activate First Sergeant and draw for his commands. He gets 3. He's undercover. He gets 4. Again, I think we're just going to save his commands down here. I have a lot of commands saved up for next turn. We may need them. I'm only doing 1 potential contact. Next turn, I'm going to do 2, I think. I'm going to clear this row out, or we're just eventually going to clear out this row here. So I think that's it for our Platoon HQ Company Staff Impulse. Now we go to the initiative segment. If the company HQ was not activated, he was. If the platoon HQs were not activated, they were. If the company staff wasn't activated, that means the XO and the first sergeant, they were. Now we're going to come down to the general initiative impulse, where we draw 1 card. We don't look at the number inside the helmet here. We look at this number down here. And that's the number of general initiative orders that I can take. I've got 4. So I think the first one we're going to do, and you can't save those, you have to use them. We have 4. I think the first one we're going to do is we're going to try to infiltrate. I don't think we can. No, we can't. I can move, but that'll mark me exposed. Yeah, we're just going to do it. We're going to get marked exposed. And then that's 1 order. We're going to try to find cover. We draw 4 cards. There's 2 possible additional covers in here. We need to draw 4 cards and look for the word cover up here. There's 1. We found it. There's cover. 2, 3, 4. We're burning up some contact cards. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We're going to put 1 regular +1 cover down here that he will be under. So now they're going to have 2 potential contacts, A contacts down here. So that's 2 orders. He's got cover. He's got cover. I didn't want to move that card. I was hoping that I could find a way to lock cards down, like in Tabletop Simulator. In Tabletop Simulator, you can right-click on a card and you can give it, you can set it to a state where it's locked. But I haven't found that yet in this one. You know what? Let's move the XO up here. XO is... the XO can command himself to move up here. Oh, we can't infiltrate. So he's going to be exposed. And he's going to look for cover. So that's going to be the 4 orders. We draw 4 here. 1. There it is. He found it. 2, 3, 4. We got to reshuffle. 4. Oh, we didn't jam anything good. He found his cover. Nope. Oh, I got to do it on the card. I have to click on the card, not on the unit. Okay, he is undercover. All right, so that's our 4 commands for our general initiative. And you can see down here, draw an action card and expend on any units a number of commands equal to the unmodified initiative commands. And now we're moving up to the enemy activity phase. So we're going to draw for higher enemy HQ events. Again, we're looking down here for a radio symbol. And there is one. So now we're going to check, we're going to draw a card and we're going to check on, oh man, gosh, I've been doing this whole thing this whole time. Oh man, bugs me. I mean, I just went through that whole thing. I'm going to come back down here and show you guys what I did. We were in the company impulse, but we were in the platoon and staff impulse. Gosh, man, bugs me. Okay, we drew for commands for third platoon. All we did with third platoon is we what did we do? Oh, we issued a command to shift fire. We were firing up here at this card, at the hedgerows. We don't want to fire at the hedgerows because we have somebody from we have second squad, second platoon up here. So we don't want to fire at that hedgerows because we don't want to injure him. So we told our guys, shift fire onto this, and it says you can shift fire to an unoccupied card. So we shifted fire here. We do have a machine gun, which is automatic weapons fire. So we put a -1 automatic weapons VOF on here. So we did that. And then I think we saved the rest of the commands. That was it. We just shifted fire. So we banked 5 commands. We activated First Sergeant. First Sergeant banked his commands. He didn't do anything. The second platoon, when they activated, they moved their second squad up here. Their second squad up here to try to figure out what this potential contact is. We wanted to leave the third squad here so we can maintain fire on this card up here that they're shooting at with small arms fire. I want to keep those guys pinned down. So then we got 4. We moved over to the I gotta keep spinning my head around to make sure. Am I on the right screen? Am I on the right screen? Am I? Okay. Then we came down. We skipped this segment because the company HQ was already activated in the activation segment. We skipped this because all the platoons were already activated in the activation segment. And all of the company XO and the first sergeant were activated in the activation segment. So then we came down here, we rolled, we got a 4. We got 4 orders to spend on any units. So the first thing we did is, I think, we moved first squad, first platoon up here, and then he found cover. That was 2 orders, and then we moved the HQ, the company HQ, from the woods up to here, and then he found cover. And that's where we're at right now, except now we have to go into the next phase, which is the enemy higher HQ. Now, we already drew for that, and we got the radio symbol. So now we're all caught up. And I got to keep my head on a swivel. I really do. Because I need to be checking things like, well, how's the stream going? It dropped frames. I'm doing 10K per second. I'm streaming at 60 frames per second. Things are looking pretty good in the stream. Okay, do I have anybody in chat? Right now, I do. Nariza G, I think you should probably be looking at the back of your eyelids, ma'am. Unless your phone is just on and you are looking at the back of your eyelids. So what we do for the enemy higher HQ events is we draw an action card. If the HQ icon is present, which is this right down here, then we determine an event on the enemy higher HQ events table, which happens to be right over here under the folder for the standalone mission information screen here. So we come down here to the enemy higher HQ events. We're on turn 5, so we're going to, on this column, we're going to draw a card. We're going to look under the number 10 and see which number we get. So that's going to be over here. We draw a card and we get a 10. I'm wanting to say that we got this one last time. We got a 10. Anyways, let's hop back over here, see what the 10 is. On turn 5, the 10 is all paralyzed teams are removed from play and all litter teams become paralyzed teams. Oh, that's the enemy. Okay. So I think this, I don't know if this applies to all or just on the enemy side. Oh, I don't like that one. All remaining PCB or C markers are replaced with PCA markers. I don't like that one. This says remove all pinned markers from enemy units. So it's specifying enemy units. This one just specifies all paralyzed teams. This would be German only. All paralyzed teams and litter teams become fire teams. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, for this, I don't want to spend the time looking it up. I'm going to say it's just German. So what did it say? All paralyzed teams are removed from play. All litter teams become paralyzed teams. I don't have any German litter teams out there. So we're just going to remove this guy from play. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to pull this guy over here, which means I probably get some type of victory points or something. I've actually just been deleting them, but I get victory points for that. There is cover here if you want to try to get into cover. I'm not going to do that with my own guys, even though I do have a paralyzed team down here, because I think that's just specific to the Germans because it's their activity phase. So that was their activity phase. That wasn't their activity phase. That was their higher HQ event phase or segment. Now we're doing the enemy activity check segment. Enemies firing cards without valid targets, shift, cease fire. Check every enemy unit on the map for activity. So we're going to determine the order randomly. So there's only 2 enemy units on the board. This is 1. This is 2. We're going to pull a card and see which number we get under the number 2. We get the number 1. So we're going to do this one first. This mortar spotters have their own special chart under enemy activity. Come over here, enemy spotter, and it goes like this. If they're pinned or fire, if they're on the fire team side, use a different chart. If they're good order with no fire missions remaining, you remove from play. They do have fire missions remaining. Good order with fire missions remaining, attempt to call for fire on a card in line of sight occupied by opposing units. So you know what? This PDF is not here for this one because these guys are under a incoming, and so they cannot see out of the card. You know what? If they could not see out of the card, I couldn't have spotted him. That's going to be a problem for me. I couldn't have spotted him. They can't see out of the card under a incoming marker. So whatever orders I used or anything, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to put an unspotted marker back on him, and I'm going to have a very bad day with these guys because he's going to call for fire again on these guys. Good order with firing missions remaining. Get rid of this. Attempt to call fire on a card in line of sight occupied by opposing units. That would be this guy. So he can still see into this card. He can't see through this card, but he can still see into it. He still has line of sight into it. But any units in a... see, I should have moved these guys up this way. Any units under an incoming volume of fire on a card cannot see out of the card. So they could not see out to do any of what I had them do. So basically all those orders were wasted. Card with opposing vehicle with the most opposing steps, closest card with opposing. So what they're going to do is they're going to call down fire again. It's going to be a -3 HE mission. Automatic weapons, heavy weapons, sniper. It's just this one. So they're going to be in a heap of trouble. coming up here shortly. Because they're going to get they're in the woods, they're going to get the air burst again. Yeah, this is, oh, I'm over here. I'm sorry. Hopping back and forth between these windows. So we're in the enemy, activity check right now. And so this is what I was saying. I got to keep my head on the swivel. That's what I got to do. This is what I was saying. I took off the PDF. I took off the grenade, -4. I took off the small arms fire here because, before I put this down, because a card that is under an incoming marker, you have to imagine that there's mortar shells that have been coming into the card, into the woods, from the last turn, and explosions are throwing up dirt, blowing up trees, stuff's flying around. Nobody can see out of this card that's on this card. So I moved these guys up here, and it was a total waste of time because they can't see. Now units can see into the card, but these guys can't see out to even spot. So I had moved these guys into the card, not thinking about that, not thinking about this right here. I'd move this whole platoon up into this card when I had talked about moving them over here, but I moved them up here instead. And I had used one of them to spot. I thought I had spotted this guy. I thought I had put down a grenade on him, but I didn't because they can't see out. So I just removed all of that. I put the unspotted marker back on him, so he's still unspotted. And now in his activity segment, he is going to call more fire down on these guys here. Now, he does have to successfully call down fire. So this doesn't get put up there yet. But what he has to do is, just like with the Americans, he's got to draw 2 cards and get this burst symbol on one of the cards. And it's not there. So he does not successfully call down fire. So we're going to delete this. So I actually dodge a bullet there. I completely dodge a bullet. Because now we go back over here and we come up here and we look at I gotta find it again. So basically, the special rule is that if the observer the enemy observer gets to draw 2 cards. I gotta find it. I know it's up here. I don't know if it's in the regular rules. Yeah, here it is. It's right here. Okay, enemy spotters draw 2 cards to make subsequent calls for fire. That's just like what the Americans do. So the Americans get to draw 2 cards the enemy spotters get to draw 2 cards. You have to find the burst symbol, that explosion looking symbol. If they don't get it, then the attempt fails. In this case, enemy spotters draw 2 cards to make subsequent calls for fire. If the attempt fails, the spotter is immediately removed from play. So that's what we're going to do over here. We're going to remove him from play. This is like the second time this has happened. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to keep him because I might get points for him. So we're going to remove the unspotted. We have cover over here, but we can't move in there anyway. So I'm just going to remove, well, I'm just going to remove the cover marker. It was there. It's not there anymore. So now we have this guy over here. We're going to resolve him. Did I randomly draw to see which one I resolved first? I don't think I did, but it doesn't matter. I don't think. I hope not. This guy's pinned, so we're going to look at the limited action team pinned activity hierarchy. He's not with a leader. He's pinned. He's not with a leader. Pinned on the same card as an opposing unit. No. So what you do is you look for the very first one that applies. Pinned on same card? No. Pinned, not under cover? Yes. That's the first one that applies to him. He's pinned and he's not under cover. So we're going to draw a card and look under 5 for a random number. Do 5. We got a 2. So he's pinned, not under cover. He's not with a leader. So 1 or 2 is no action. So he just keeps standing there hoping that the bullets don't hit him. So resolved him. Those are the 2 that we needed to resolve. So now we are going from that phase into yeah, we should. I think I did draw a card. I think I did. It was the one here. On each card checking his base status. And then I went through this whole thing. I'm like, oh no, this could have been devastating. Another -3. So this would have been -3, -1 for -4, and -6. These guys are exposed. They're not under cover. +2. So that would have been a -4, the very worst result that you can get in combat. That would have been really bad. And that was really bad of me to move them up in here, not realizing I was moving them up in here to try to spot the spotter. But I can't see out of this card because the VOF marker's on there. So I need to keep that in mind for the future. I'll tell you what. Say howdy. Okay. I'm going to have a couple more pretzels. I tell you, the rule book is only 96 pages. I should have it down in a couple of days. We are doing capture segment. No. Retreat segment. Is this for both? Unpinned paralyzed team under a VF marker, 1 card. I think so. Mutual, yeah, mutual capture and retreat phase. So actually, this guy would have retreated probably off the map last turn. That's why it's so important to read this, like read every single word. Mutual capture and retreat phase. I think he was pinned though, so. Priority is no VOF and best cover concealment. Retreat any unpinned stretcher litter team plus a casualty under a VOF marker, 1 card. Okay, so we can't do that because we don't have a litter team over here. And I tank combat Fire mission update segment. Remove existing incoming and airstrike markers. This one gets removed. This one gets removed. Flip pending markers to their active sides. So see, that's what would have happened over here. If this mortar spotter had gotten that burst symbol when I turned the cards over, then we would have removed the -3 incoming. That's fine. But then we would have flipped over the pending to a -3. And then all heck would have broke loose on this card. That could have been a critical mistake. I could have wiped out my whole platoon. That would have been a critical mistake. Okay, so now we move on to the potential contact evaluation. And we have two, this one and this one. We're going to randomly choose which one to do first. First, we want to check the activity level. We're still engaged. No, we're not. This is going to be bad. Because this VOF marker really isn't there. Because there's no units there. There's only one VOF marker, and that's that one right there. So we are back to just contact. Contact is one friendly occupied or enemy occupied card is under a VOF marker. That's this one right here. So we need to draw on these A's, we need to draw 7 cards to see if there's contact for each one. Well, no. If there is contact, then it's going to change it back to engaged and we'll only draw 5 cards on the second one. So we have to randomly pick 1, 2. First, we're going to resolve number 1. This one here. We're going to draw 7 cards. We're looking for the word contact up here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There it is. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have contact on this card. So now what we do is we go back over to the manual and we look under the German force packages. This is a PCA marker. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a card and we're going to look under the number 10 and see what we get. The number 10 is a 3. Another incoming. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, this is a PCA marker right here. We drew a 3 under the number 10, and it is a 2 to 3 is package number 3, and package number 3 is incoming. I don't know why. Why? So we're going to put down a -3 VOF marker. Right there. It's going to flip it over to its incoming side. Okay. We're going to get rid of this. Return it to the stack. Let's go back here. We're going to find out where there is a spotter in basic cover. And And we're going to place the spotter at max line of sight as per the contact location table. So now we know it's going to be in the front. It's going to be in the front of the unit. We're in column 2. So column 2, we're going to draw a 1, 2, or 3. We're going to draw a card and look under the number 3 and see what the result is. This is number 3 is a 3. So it is over here. There is a spotter. I'm pull another one because I'm not going to pull another one. Okay, he's undercover. He's unspotted. Again. I guess really the only good thing about this is that he does have to call for fire every time. And so far, they've only gotten 1 round off. And every time that they've gotten off a round, the subsequent round, like the second time they've called for fire, it hasn't been successful. So I think that's what we do. Oh, I did that over here. I gave him an unspotted marker. I gave him a cover. And there is our mortar spotter in line of sight of this card right here. And it's always put, generally speaking, the action of the PC marker resolution is always directed towards the card that discovered the PC marker. So that was this card that we were working on here. That makes sense. Probably doesn't, but I'm tired. So he's got all his stuff. He's got his cover. He's got his unspotted status. He's calling in fire over here again. So I'm pretty sure that's all that we needed to do with that. Oh, we found out where he is. He's right front. So we did that over here. So that's all done. So now we have to resolve this one. So again, it's a potential. Now there's 2 volume of fire markers on here. So that will change. It will put us into engaged. 2 or more friendly occupied or enemy cards are under VOF markers. So we're going to increase this to engaged. And now we draw 5 cards instead of 7 cards. So maybe that'll help us avoid getting additional contact here. Get out of here, bug. It's bug season. I'm going to put my, excuse me. I'm going to put my coaster on top of my soda. I'm still drinking it 2 hours later. Been on for 2 hours and 16 minutes. Still drinking it. Yeah, we got to draw a card. We got to resolve this potential marker here. Bring this up here. I'm going to get rid of this because that was artillery. I mean, we are still spotted, I guess. We can leave that on there if we need to call fire in here again. So let's leave that there. So we're going to draw a 10. We are engaged. We're coming over here to, yeah, PCA. We're engaged. And draw a card. Look under the number 10. What number do we get? We get a 6. Wonder what 6 is. It seems like it's something new. Is that necessarily a good thing? No. We don't know what 6 is. At least we knew what 3 is, but we don't know what 6 is. So let's go find out. What is 6? On a PCA, a 6 out of 10 is a number 7. I think I know what this one is. It's a couple of squads that are just kind of wandering around. Um, yep, maneuvering. I've gotten this one. These are the ones that I've gotten. I've got the maneuvering and I've got the incoming. And the maneuvering and the incoming. I haven't gotten any machine gun nests. I haven't gotten any bunkers. I haven't gotten any I haven't these are the only two that I've got this game. I've got this like 4 times. This will be the second time that I've got this one out of the PC markers that I've resolved. Okay, so we pulled a 6 on a 10 for a PCA, a potential contact A marker, and it's 7. And 7 is the maneuvering. We don't put down a PDF or a VOF. This squad is spotted. We place it at max line of sight of triggering unit, regardless of any weapon ranges as per the contact location table. So the contact location table, we're in row 3, and as far as it goes, the line of sight only extends out to these next cards. It doesn't go past that. So it's probably going to show up on one of these cards here. That's what this card was over here. This was one of these maneuvering squads. And I forget which one I picked. I think it was number 3. That's something I have to keep in mind. When I pull these things off of here, if I flip this, it shows me what I had. No. I need to keep in mind because that squad was broken down into 2 fire teams and a casualty. But I think I need to pull that to the side and keep that in mind or make a note of it, because I might get like experience points for that. And also at some point, this could be reconstituted possibly. Not with the casualty, but these 2 could have been reconstituted into a fire team. This guy that was under here was paralyzed, so he retreated off the card. So we got our guy here. We're in column 3. So we're going to draw a 1, 2, or a 3 on one of these cards. We're going to look under the number 3. We got a 3. He's up here. So we're going to grab a German squad. I think it was number 3 that we had. Yeah, I think it was automatic weapons guy. So we're going to call this one number 1, number 2, and number 3. And we're going to draw another card to see which one comes out. Oh, and I have to reshuffle. Did I not reshuffle? Have I not been reshuffling when that reshuffle card comes up and I have to like draw extra cards? Because they say if you're supposed to draw 4 cards for something that's going on, and you draw the first card and then you draw the reshuffle card, you're supposed to draw the 3 more cards to make up the 4 and then reshuffle. But this is the second time that this has happened where I've gotten to the end of the deck, and that's not supposed to happen. So I don't think I've been reshuffling. So let's draw a card anyway. On number 3, it's number 2. So we're going to grab this guy. We're going to bring him out over here. So these are kind of like training missions here for me. Okay, we're here. This is a contact we're resolving. He's going to show up here. He's exposed. He's not spotted. He is spotted. He's exposed. And he's just kind of wandering around. He's kind of like, well, this is a really nice day. I'm walking down this Orchard Grove Road here. Now, I don't see anybody over it. I'm just going to delete this, return it to the sec. I don't see anybody. Oh, wait. I might see somebody over there. Is there somebody moving around over there? But we see him from here. We see him from here. So we are going to put on him a volume of fire, -1. So as soon as, so we can see through the open fields card over to this Orchard Grove card from the church here. As soon as an enemy unit comes into line of sight and range of your weapons, they get attacked. So this is automatic weapons fire from this machine gun right there, 2 LMG. So he is under attack. What was I going to do? Also looking next at this, make sure we got everything done. Maneuvering, squad mark exposed. Does he place a PDF or VOF marker? No, he does not. Is he spotted? Yes, he is. Place at max line of sight a triggering unit, and we already determined what that was. Max line of sight of this, which is the triggering unit, is here. Can't see past here because of this green, dark green border. Can't see past it. Okay, so that is the potential contact evaluation. We've done both of them. Each card, PC marker friendly unit, draw a number of action cards indicated on the potential contact draw card chart based on the PC marker and the current activity level. So we did that. Right now we have 1, 2, 3 cards under VOF. And so does that change anything? Contact. Engage. 2 or more friendly occupied enemy or enemy occupied cards are under VOF markers. We're still engaged because we have 3, but in order to get to heavily engaged, we have to have at least one of the cards has both enemy and friendly units on it. So we're still at the engaged level. So in this turn, I think we went from contact. We went from contact, where we had to draw 7 cards on the first one, to engaged, where we had to draw 5 cards. I have to say, actually, so far on turn 5, the enemy contact's been pretty mild. It could have been a lot worse. Each card with a PC marker and a friendly unit draw the number of action cards indicated on the potential contact draw chart based on the PC marker and the current activity level. If a card states contact with the enemy has been made, determine the enemy package to use in placement at per 8.3. Place any applicable VOF and PDF markers and update the current activity marker before moving on to select the next PC marker. Pinned recovery segment. Remove pin markers from any vehicle or infantry units that are not under a VOF marker. I don't have any pinned. And these guys are under a VOF marker, so they don't remove theirs. Combat effects segment. Do not adjust VOF PDF until 3.8, until the cleanup phase. So right now, as long as these have all been placed accurately, as long as these have all been placed accurately with the VOF markers and stuff, then everything should be fine. Now we don't have any fire coming down on the this guy because he is not spotted, but these guys are spotted. So we are in resolve any flamethrower, determine the NCM, draw an action card to determine if fire is effective. Okay, so we have, we're going to go, they recommend you go left to right, top to bottom, or top to bottom, left to right. So we start on the top row here, and we come over here, and we can resolve this card right here. Now this card's under a automatic weapons VOF from down here in this church. There's a light machine gun there. It goes right across the fields. You can see the range on that is L. That is automatic weapon fire A, and L is long range. Long range is 2 cards away. So we do have automatic fire on this card right here. So the automatic weapons fire is -1. He's exposed. -2, that's -3. He does get +1 cover, the natural cover of the orchard. So he is at -2. So what we do is we draw an action card, flip it over here. We look under the -2. It shows he's pinned. That is a very good result for them. Hit result is a pin. So he's pinned. That's a great hit result for them. So that card has been resolved. Now this card right here, it's under a VOF marker, but it's only a 0. Small arms fire is just a 0. Basically what a small arms fire does, did I get it? I don't know if I did or not. I maybe scared him. I scared him. So basically what small arms fire does, it's a VOF marker. So it counts for like when you're doing potential contact, draw chart, check, stuff like that. He's out in the open. He's pinned, so he gets a +1 because that fire team made up of 3-4 guys is like they're down as close to the ground as they can get. They're not under cover. So they're +1, they're +2 for being in the marsh also. So we draw on the +2. Now, even though we didn't give orders for the mortar or and I don't think they fire. I think these guys have to be given orders. These guys do not. They just automatically fire. So we're on a +2 for this card over here for that fire team. +2 is a pin. They are already pinned. They stay pinned. Okay, now over here, we have this guy. He is exposed, but he's undercover. So we have -3. The fire is coming from this mortar spotter right here. The fire is crossing the green heavy line of sight corner of this card right here. So he gets the +2 benefit from that. If it was crossing the white part, the white side here, he would only get the +1. So he is -3, -2 for being exposed. That's -5. He's got 1 special cover and 2 natural cover. So that is a 3. 3. So 3 plus -5 is -2. So basically you can look at it and say, well, you got a +1 for this cover, a +2 for this cover. That's 3. That negates this, but he's still exposed. So we're going to draw a card, and we're going to look under -2. We're going to look under -2 and see what happens. -2 is a hit. So this is a line unit. So we're going to pull and see what happens with this line unit. See what the hit result is from that -2 hit. So 1 step of this line unit becomes that's an F, becomes a fire team. So now what you would do in Vassal here is you would right click, you would do hit results, and the hit results are an F. So both units are in cover still. They're both fire teams now. They can only fire at units on their card. That's what close range is. No, they can fire out. Close range is the next card over, one card over. P is point blank, which they can only fire on their card. So they would be, once this is spotted, they could put down small arms fire. They're both pinned, which gives them a +1. They're both under cover, which gives them an additional +1, plus this would be a +4 for any additional incoming. But you can see here, +4 -3 is a +1. It still would have been a hit. So that VOF marker stays there until the next combat phase. So we've resolved all the combat. All right, we update ammo levels of units exerting basic VOF. These guys still can't see me. They can only see one card away. These guys can see me. So they would be exerting. But so for initial placement, the initial placement said that we do not put down a VDF or a primary direction of fire or a VOF for that unit. We don't do that. They're just kind of maneuvering. They're just kind of looking for, looking under rocks and bushes and stuff like that. And they are spotted. So we were able to put a VOF on them, but they did not put any VOFs down on us. But my understanding is that changes now. That changes now. Down in the cleanup phase, remove pyrotechnic smoke, illumination, expose, move fired concentrated markers, or concentrated fire booby traps, grenades, and grenade miss markers. Evacuate casualties from cards designated for casualty evacuation. Enemies firing at cards without valid targets, shift cease fire. If a defensive mission, move any unresolved PC markers. Now, but I have to determine, and I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but right now I think they can see me. He can see me here, he can see me here, but I'm not sure which one he's going to fire at. So I think I'm going to wait until the next enemy activity phase to find out who he fires at. Now, it might make sense since all these other ones here, where it says place PDF or VOF, for example, on this one, Mines, place VOF on same card as triggering unit. Place incoming on same card as triggering unit. Place light machine gun at maximum range per contact location, and then they would start firing on the unit that triggered them. Same with this one. So I'm assuming that they would be firing on the triggering unit. Basically, they'd be like, oh, this guy saw me over here. There'd also be, yeah, there should be a PDF here. PDF here. And this PDF here. This one takes precedence because it's a lesser number. The smaller the number, like -1, -2, -3, the smaller the number, the better. So that's the one that you use. Now, I'm assuming that they would fire on this one. So I'm going to actually flip this one now and make it this way. But when we go into the next turn, enemy activity phase, then we can dig into the rules a little bit and see, you know, which one does he attack, because he can see both of them. So down here, evacuate casualties, enemies firing at cards without valid target shift cease fire. Defensive mission, all the PC markers. I think that's it. Cleanup phase, what we do is a couple of things. We click on cleanup, and then all the units that are marked exposed, they lose those counters. Oh, you know what? This guy was pinned. He was pinned after the pinned phase, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, he was pinned in the combat effects phase, not in the pinned. So he was pinned. He was pinned after the pinned recovery segment, and he was under VOF anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we're gonna click on cleanup. Get rid of these. So these guys are not exposed anymore. He's not exposed either. But then we need to clean up the command display. And the way they said you do that is the second platoon has 4 saved commands. First sergeant has 4 saved commands. Third platoon has 5 saved commands. These guys all completed their activations with 0 commands left. So they just bop over here. The XO. And that's it. We move it up to turn 6. This is second squad, second platoon. They have a grenade, rifle grenade. Really what I should be doing is I should be paying attention and going, you know what? Third squad, second platoon. Second platoon, third squad had smoke. So maybe I should have sent him up here and then popped the smoke, right? So I think smoke would have given him a +2 on his cover. So then he wouldn't have been pinned or whatever he is right now. I forget which one he is. Oh, he's not. Maybe it was this guy here. So those are kind of things I got to think about with the strategy and all that stuff. I got to start using those guys to their best effect. Okay, so we're under engaged. We've got all of these cleared except for this one. And so now what I'm doing is I'm flanking. I'm coming this way. So next we're going to be moving up into, we're going to be resolving these potential contact markers up here. This guy's, this artillery observer's in a church, so he can see here, he can see down here, he can see here and here. So that's it, I think, for this turn. We're on to turn 6. We're on to turn 6. We got all of our markers reset. And we're going to put this back up here. I'm probably still making mistakes and stuff, but I'm having fun learning the game. It's a pretty cool design, I have to say. It's a pretty cool design. Interesting mechanics. Well, for one thing, here's the thing. I was playing, if you look on my VOD, if you look on YouTube, Biff Gimbal on YouTube, I've got some VODs up there as well from, well, a lot. I've got like 50 videos on YouTube from previous Twitch plays and stuff like that. All different kinds of stuff up there. But recently I played Upfront, which is it's called the Squad Leader Um, up front, up front is the squad leader card game. You see on the bottom there. And this is a very sought after game. They talked a few years ago, they talked about like reprinting it. I think Multiman Publishing was talking about reprinting it. You can see I got it at a local game store, regional game store, I guess I should call it, for $9. Long time ago. Right now, it sells on eBay for like 120 bucks. But it has cards. It has action cards. Like for here, you see an action card is wire. Okay. So basically, you get dealt cards. Some cards are terrain cards. Some cards are movement cards. And then you have to have a movement card to move into terrain, which then increases, which then you should say closes the distance between you and the enemy. So if you move forward 1, then you're closing the distance between you and the enemy. And then you also get what are called fire cards. And then you need fire cards to fire on the enemy. And you can only fire on the enemy based on your range to the enemy. But your hand size is like 4 or 5 cards. I think the Germans. This is the initial release of the game. There's a couple expansions, but the Germans get 5 cards. Americans get 6 cards. And there's also Russians. There's some scenarios with Russians. So you draw cards. There is a solitaire system that you can play, which actually I think makes the game a lot harder than if you were playing face to face. But you draw cards and you play movement cards to move out of terrain. If you're in a building and you want to close with the enemy, you'd put down a +1 movement card to move out of the building, and then you'd put down another terrain card on top of the movement card to move into that terrain. Say you're in a building, you put down a movement card to move out of the building, then you put down a wall card to move behind a wall. And all the time you're closing with the enemy, so you can use these fire cards. Your firepower is based on how far away you are from the enemy. So the closer you get, the higher the firepower on your weapons goes. And then when you attack with a fire card, there's a fire attack number. And then you draw and you add or subtract from that to get a result on the enemy units. Well, the thing is, you might be at range 5. What's a high range? They start out at range, I forget. But anyways, you have to be within a certain range to get your firepower up to use the better fire cards. But if you have a high fire attack card, which requires a lot of firepower, but you're not at the right range to use it, that card isn't any good to you. And there are discard rules. Like the Germans can perform any number of actions in a turn and still discard a card and draw a new card. The Americans have to not perform any actions, and then they can discard 2 cards and draw 2 new cards. Well, the thing is, if you're not getting a movement card, you're not closing with the enemy. You're not able to use the firepower cards that you have because you're too far away from the enemy to use the firepower cards effectively. So it's all based on getting the cards at the right time to make the moves that you want to make. And the beauty of this game is now up front is a man-to-man, basically. You are a squad of about 12 soldiers, and you're broken up into different groups. So you have one like high firepower group of like 6 or 7 cards, and then you have another smaller group of 5 cards with lower morale. You want to have your higher morale guys in your big stack, your killer stack, so that they don't get broken. They're broken. They can't fire. But in this game, you do give your soldiers movement orders. You do give them movement orders, but when they see an enemy, they open fire. You don't have to give them a fire order. If they are in line of sight and they are in range, then you open fire on them. And to me, that's just like, you don't have to wait to draw a fire card. Yeah, can your attack maybe be kind of like hamstrung because you're not getting the orders to move your guys? Yeah, they can, but you also get the in the sequence of play down here at the bottom, you get the general initiative phase. So you can always generally speaking, you can always move somebody. So yeah, I mean, I like the design of this game. I like the feel of it. It's kind of got there's fire and maneuver in this game, and that's kind of what infantry combat in World War II is. You maneuver into position, like right here. I've got this whole squad right here that's kind of designed to be here in order to keep fire down on this area, because this is my first objective. This is my second objective. I've captured my attack point, which would lead to it's going to get me some experience points when you're playing the campaign. You'll get experience points for that. You can use experience points to upgrade your units from like line units to veteran units. You can upgrade your leaders from line to veteran, and then they get more. They get more orders when you draw orders. They get like +1 or +2 orders when you draw orders. But where was I going with that? But there is maneuver. I mean, I want to maneuver around this open field because I don't want to contact A bringing up a heavy machine gun right here or a heavy machine gun over here and just wiping out a squad. That's generally why I've seen, in order to find potential contacts, you move one squad up into that card, or you can actually break the squad down into a fire team. You can detach a step into a assault team, and assault teams can actually move forward. It's just one step. Assault teams can move forward, and they can actually resolve that potential contact. Fire teams and other steps cannot, but assault teams can. And so the idea with this one right here is I'm going to try to maneuver around. I want to try to use this better cover here and maneuver around this open field and come at my first objective and my second objective this way. So anyways, I like it. It's fun. I hope you guys like it if you're watching it. I guess I assume you like it. And it's not a downside. It's not a downside. But the only thing is that you're dealing with a rule book that is urban warfare. Now, to be fair, they will tell you Okay, 91 pages. To be fair, they will tell you in the basic field manual, they will tell you to use the rule book as a reference. You don't have to read the whole rule book to play the game. They try to do it in kind of like a step-by-step learning process. Like here they say before starting, here they say, basic training exercises can be set up and played using the components and player aids in the box without having to read the rule book first. What box, you may ask? What box, you may ask? This is the deluxe edition of the game that I bought about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago on GMT, which is the publisher of the game. Let me get this up here, okay. GMT is the publisher of Fields of Fire. So this is the new deluxe edition. It just came out. It was just came out for general publish. So you can purchase it like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago in February. It's by GMT Games. Down the lower left-hand corner there. It is, I haven't opened it yet because I can play it on Vassal. You can see there's the pucker of the shrink wrap right there. You can see the pucker of the shrink wrap. You can see the kind of the shiny of the shrink wrap too. But this is the deluxe edition. So it's got Normandy, it's got Battle of Nakhtong River in Korea, I believe, and Heartbreak Ridge. And then it also has the Vietnam expansion. So I think there's the original game plus 3 expansions. There's like 1,000 counters, 3 terrain decks, 1 set of 11 Heartbreak Ridge cards, which must be special scenario cards. 1 action deck of 55, player aids, helicopter display, all that stuff. So it is a solitaire game. So of course, solitaire suitability is very high. And it's a lot of fun. But they tell you, don't feel like you have to read the entire rule book to understand everything before setting up a simple scenario. So that's what they do here in the basic field manual. They just tell you, just set up a few units, learn how to move them, learn how to commands are given, and read sections 1 and 2 of the rule book. So sections 1 and 2 of the rule book, let's scooch up here and see that. Sections 1 and 2 of the rule book cover introduction and preparing for a mission. Real simple, 13 pages and beginning play. As the basic concepts of gameplay are covered in sections 4 to 6 of the rule book. 4 to 6. They skipped over. Oh, section 3 is a summary of the sequence of play, which is the most important, really, part of the game. That's where all the action takes place. And it's very important, like I've learned and I'm still learning, to don't do anything without consulting the sequence of play. Because if you do, you're going to get ahead of yourself. You're going to forget something. You're going to misdo something. But yeah, that's where the whole game is, right in here in the sequence of play. And then they tell you, section 4 explains command structure. Section 5 explains how the map is used. So command and control, movement, line of sight, and terrain on the map. Section 6 explains basic principles of combat. 7 these, so they go into reference sections then. So once you get up to 6, it that's kind of the meat of the game right there, 1 through 6. And then it starts to get more into reference information like weapons and fire support. Like you saw me looking up things like grenades. How are grenades used? I've looked up things like indirect fire missions for how the artillery fire observer, forward observer, how he deals with things and stuff like that. So 7 and 8 covers how enemies are placed. 8 covers how enemies are placed. So we've done that. And then visibility rules, we haven't dealt with that yet so much. Every scenario we've played, there has been daylight visibility. So we haven't dealt with like nighttime or any hindrances to visibility. Then you get into vehicles. Not even close to doing that yet. Vehicles and anti-tank combat, transportation, assault planning, playing a campaign, urban warfare. So basically, they walk you through basic gameplay, sequence of play, and they give you a scenario. They show you the command structure. They give you a scenario, getting started. Platoon assault course. The first thing they do is they teach you about activation and movement. How do you activate your commands, and how do you move them around? And so they do that. They give a real good command display description here, detail on how you're supposed to set this up and how you do things step by step by step so that you don't lose track and you start messing up, you know, which command is activated, how many saved orders do they have, all that stuff. I'm going to be referring back to this one for quite a while until I get that down, you know, committed to memory, basically. And then they give you this very easy step-by-step example of, you start down here in your, this is your starting area down here, and they just show you how to move. Move here, move here, move here, move up here, move up here. Now, as far as I know, there's no limit. Like if you're moving into an open field or you're moving into woods, it's one command. But anyways, that's the game. That's what I've been playing for like the last, I don't even know, 2 weeks. I've been playing this, trying to learn it, and still learning and still making mistakes. But I've been having a really good time learning it. It's a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for me for tonight. Everybody, I got to go to bed. It's probably getting close to midnight, and I'm still down here jabbering. Jibber jabber. Yeah, it's almost midnight. I got to go to bed. I got to get up at 6 o'clock to get my daughter to school. So, and I'm still jibber jabbering. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. No, I won't. Maybe later in the afternoon, maybe 12:30, something like that. My daughter has piano class after school, so I won't be picking her up until a little after 3. So I might be able to get on if I can get home from getting my new tires installed. My appointment for getting my tires installed is at around 10, and it usually takes about an hour or so to get the tires installed. So I won't be on until noonish, afternoonish, like maybe 12:30, maybe 1, somewhere in there. So I won't see you until then, but I do want to leave you with my usual sentiment that wherever you are in the wide world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, put yourself in a position to be blessed and be blessed. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.